Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, everyone. So now we're going to complete what we have started, but I think that we have to listen again to the audio in order to focus, and because there was problems.
Pages 40 and 41. 8. Reading.
An out-of-this-world vacation. Things that once seemed impossible often become commonplace with the passing of time. There are people predicting that this will happen with space tourism in the next decade or two. Some are even investing in and developing space tourism technology, believing that space tourism will be the next big thing. They imagine a future in which space travel will have become a reality for millions of ordinary people. At the moment, space tourism is only a possibility for the incredibly wealthy. In 2001, American multimillionaire Dennis Tito paid $20 million to become the first space tourist. After 8 months of rigorous training, Tito traveled aboard a Russian capsule that was launched by an American company called Space Adventures. He then spent 7 days aboard the International Space Station. Since then, a number of other millionaire space tourists of different nationalities have gone into space.
Okay, so let's start here. Now, as you can see, our passage is about space. Okay, and out of this world vacation. Now, can you imagine that we can have a vacation out of the earth? Now, sometimes we think of a country and we think, oh, it's impossible that I can go there. But here you are, you can go there. But what about the space? Now, let's see. The first question that I wrote for you is that, is space tourism possible for everyone until the moment? Well, as you can see, at the moment, space tourism is only a possibility for the incredibly wealthy. So people who are rich or very rich, not only rich, can go there because it costs them a lot of money. So only people who are rich. Now, how Dennis Tito became the first space tourist? Dennis Tito in 2001, he is an American multimillionaire. He paid what? $20 million just to become the first space tourist. Okay? And I guess that you, of course, you know the meaning of tourist. Now, after 8 months of rigorous training, Tito traveled abroad aboard a Russian capsule that was launched by an American company called Space Adventure. And then he spent 7 days abroad at the International Space Station. And after this person, because he was the first one, after this person, a number of other millionaire space tourists of different nationalities have gone into space. It means that people who are very rich from other countries, they wanted to do the same thing as Dennis Tito and to become one of the tourists who can go to the space. Now let's complete listening.
Although up to now only very wealthy people have had the opportunity to be space tourists, many see this as the beginning of what will eventually become a lucrative new industry. There are several companies that have already invested millions of dollars in developing new, reusable launch vehicles. Their goal is to lower launch costs enough to make it possible for the average person to buy a ticket to space. The Japanese Rocket Society, for example, has set a target price of 1 million yen, about $10,000. Virgin Galactic, a British company owned by Richard Branson's Virgin Group, has been working on plans for sending people into space for years. The company is about to begin testing of their 8-seat spacecraft and expects that they will have worked out any problems by 2020. When the spacecraft is shown to be safe, Virgin Galactic will begin their flights. Although tickets are a steep £100,000, $160,000, amazingly, the first year of flights has already been booked. One of these future passengers is Lisa Ramirez, a mother of 3. When asked why she was prepared to spend so much money on a galactic flight, Ramirez explained, I'm 58 years old, and by the time this happens, I will have been dreaming of going to space for at least 45 years.
Okay, now here we have two paragraphs. The first one talks about the cost of going to the space and being or doing a space tourist. Now, first of all, and the second one, it talks about Virgin Galactic, which is a British company. This British company has what? Has the tickets for you to go there into the space. Now, it's like a plane flights, or sorry, airplanes, okay, but only to go into space. Now, why there are companies investing in developing new reusable launch vehicles? Why there are companies investing in doing that, in having reusable, using again launch vehicles? Why do you think? Now, there are several companies that have already invested millions of dollars in developing new reusable launch vehicles. Now, why is that? Because their goal is to lower launch costs enough to make it possible for the average person to buy a ticket to space. Why they are doing that? Because now making launch vehicles to go into space is really expensive. So because it's expensive, of course the ticket is going to be expensive. For them to make average people to go into space, they are going to reuse those vehicles, again developing them, taking care of them, in order, in a less price, of course, in order to for you to go there, or for the average person to go there, and they can buy, of course, the ticket. Now, how much the ticket costs to go to space in the Galactic Company? How much the ticket? They are steep, which is a very expensive one, which is $160,000. And that equal in riyals, doing some math, six hundred thousand riyals. It's very expensive. Now, who was the first passenger to go into space with this company or buying this ticket? Um, it's a mother, or she is a mother. Her name is Lisa Ramirez. Okay, she's a mother of three. Now, when they asked her, why would you go there, or why would you prefer yourself to go there, she said, I am 55 years old, and by the time this happens, I will have been dreaming of going to space for at least 45 years. Okay, so she can do, she fulfill her dream whether she's young or she's old. Okay, now let's complete.
There are even companies working on plans to build hotels for space tourists. The Shimizu Corporation, a giant Japanese construction company, has detailed plans for a hotel they expect to complete by 2020. They believe that by then, they will have created a 63-room hotel which will orbit 279 miles, 450 kilometers, above the surface of Earth. The hotel will slowly spin in order to produce enough force to simulate Earth's gravity. It is estimated that such a space hotel would cost $6 to $12 billion and would take about 6 years to build. Since water was discovered on the moon in 1998, the multinational hotel chain, Hilton Hotels, has been working on plans for a hotel on the moon. The plans call for a 5,000-room complex with a beach, a working farm, a medical center, and even a school. 2 huge solar panels will generate the power. Hilton is working on this project with experts at NASA.
Now let's see how about living there. Now I'm going there. I know how I'm going there with airplanes, or as we can call them. Also, I know that I'm going to be a tourist there. Now I'm going to stay there, of course, for a few days. So I'm going to need a hotel. Now here we have, first of all, by 2020, which is this year, the Japanese construction company Shimizu will have completed what, as they say? And we don't know if they have completed this or not, according to COVID-19 dilemma. Now, they have completed what? So they expect to complete by 2020, which is plans for a hotel. So they want to build a hotel there. Now, um, how by this time they think that they will have created a 63-room hotel which will orbit 2,079 miles above the surface of the earth. Now, how much it will cost? Building this will cost 6 to 12 billion dollars. Can you believe that? That's billions of reals. Now, when water was discovered on the moon, now we know when the moon was discovered, and when was the water discovered on the moon? In 1998. Now, do Hilton hotels have plans on space? Of course, you know this company of hotels, Hilton Hotels. And do they have plans on space? Of course they do. They are everywhere. So they think that why we are not on space. So they have plans there. What they want is they want a 500-room complex with a beach. Can you imagine that? And a working farm, a medical center, and even a school. Two huge solar panels will generate the power. Hilton is working on this project with experts at NASA. Now let's complete the last one here.
You may wonder what space tourists will do while in space. To begin with, most will probably want to spend some time simply enjoying the incredible sight of Earth from space. After that, no doubt they will spend some time gazing at the amazingly bright stars and will take a spacewalk or two. When space tourists have had their fill of observing, they are likely to spend hours amusing themselves floating and doing acrobatics in the zero gravity of space. This zero gravity could provide endless recreational opportunities, including swimming in a zero gravity swimming pool in which people move through a floating mass of water. With so much research, energy, and money being poured into space tourism, it is clear that it is a matter of when, rather than if, space tourism will become a reality.
Okay, so this is the end of it. What I'm going to do, and it's about what I'm going to do there in space. Now, what space tourists will do while in space? Now, of course, they don't have many things as they have in on Earth, but they have different things because they can gaze at the amazingly bright stars. Also, they can take a spacewalk or two, I don't know. When spacers have had their fill of observing, they are likely to spend hours amusing themselves floating and doing acrobatics in the zero gravity of space. Okay, I think this is crazy, but I don't know, maybe they can do that. Also, there is a swimming in a zero gravity swimming pool in which people move through a floating mass of water. So the water, I think, will be around them. Maybe there is no place to breathe as we have here. I don't know how they are going to do that. It's insane. So, as they say, or as they describe, all of these things is a matter of when, which means it's only a matter of time to be true, rather than if space tourism will become a reality, because they think that now it becomes a reality that you can travel there just in vacation. Okay. Now, this is all what do we have today. We're done. Only here there is a true or false. I'm going to put it as an electronic homework. I need you please to do it in your book and also in the website of Al-Fusha. Okay? Okay, so this is all for today. If you have a question, please ask me later. Have a nice day.